Hello everybody, it's me Heather, and recently on my Instagram I did swatches of all of the new limited edition Wet n Wild All Access Beauty eyeshadow trios that are popping up in drugstores right now. And then I posted a picture of all of them and I numbered all of them. There's 6 of them, and I asked you guys which one you would like to see me use in a video. So this one is the one that won, the one that was labeled number 5. It is Standing My Campground, and it actually has 2 matte shades and 1 shimmer, or I should say, yeah, a shimmer shade. So this is the look I created using this palette, and if you want to see how I did it, watch on. I have cleansed and moisturized my face. So as a primer, I'm using the Urban Decay Naked Skin Beauty Balm in Naked Dark. And I'm using a liberal amount because it's really sunny and I want some sun protection. This has SPF 20 in it. And I also like to use this one to warm up foundations that run a little too light or cool on me. So I've stuffed everything I want to use for this tutorial in this makeup bag. It's from Concrete Minerals. I'll leave a link, or actually I'll list everything down below that I'm using in this video. So for foundation, I'm using Chanel Perfection Lumiere in the shade 40 Beige. I'm getting my BeautyBlender Pure, just a white beauty blender, wet, using Fix Plus. And I'm going to apply this foundation all over my face. So as you can see, it has quite a white cast to it because it has SPF 15 in it, and it uses titanium dioxide, which is a white pigment sunscreen. So when you first apply this, it looks way too light. But then once it warms up with my skin, it is a good skin match. But since that sunscreen does give it a white cast at first, that's why I went ahead and used the Urban Decay Naked Skin Beauty Balm in Naked Dark to help warm up that foundation a little more. Now I am using a Beauty Blender Micro Mini, and I'm getting that wet with Fix Plus. And I'm just taking the remaining foundation on the back of my hand, and I'm applying that under my eyes, around the corners of my nose. And now I'm ready to go in using this. This is the Neutrogena Healthy Skin Brightening Eye Perfector in the shade Light 10. This is definitely more of a brightener than a concealer, and I like to use this really liberally, like I like to use all my products really liberally. And I apply it kind of in that triangular shape underneath my eye, but I do extend it all the way to my hairline. I obviously do this not just to brighten my under eye area, but also it just gives my face a little bit more definition. It seems to lift my cheekbones a little more when I use a really brightener, like bright shade like that. And I do it on both sides of my eye. And I love this little Beauty Blender Micro Mini that I use to blend it out too, because it really does an amazing job of just getting into the like crevices of my face, like getting really in the corner of my eye right there and just blending this product out beautifully. And I'm able to just flip it over to the little fatter end of it to help blend out the rest of the brightener on my face. I even use it on the corners of my nose. I go ahead and I apply the brightener to the nasolabial folds on my face, and then blend that out using the little Micro Mini blender, simply because that helps to reflect light and it gives my appearance a more smoother appearance as opposed to, having really thick nasolabial folds. Now I'm using an eyeshadow primer potion from Urban Decay. This is their anti-aging formula. I love this eyeshadow primer. I use it almost every day underneath almost every eyeshadow look that I wear, almost all of them. And it does have a very, very slight tint to it, and I just love that. So this is the winning eyeshadow trio, Standing My Campground. It's a limited edition Wet n Wild eyeshadow trio. It's popping up now at most drugstores. So it has a pink shimmer shade, but it's very subtle shimmer. It's not glittery, and it's not, obnoxious. It's very, very, very subtle shimmer. And I'm just applying that on the lids of my eyes. First I tap it on, and then I swipe it on to deepen the color. The pigmentation on this one is okay. I just feel like no matter how much of it I apply, it's never as intense as I want it to look as it does in the pan, so it's actually a softer shade than it looks in the pan. Now I'm taking the matte brown shade and I'm applying that in the crease of my eyes. This is a nice, everyday, like true brown color to me. And it's just a nice matte brown. A lot of people will probably like this palette because the pink's not really as intense as it looks in the pan. And then once you apply it, like I said, it really just softens up. And then this brown really seems to soften the pink even more.
using the same brush, I'm going to go in and use the very top shade, which is basically, it's a very, like, it's a tan beige. It's almost the same color as my skin. So I was kind of surprised that this palette won the, you know, contest, I guess you could say, when I asked people which one they want to see me do a look with, because when I did swatches of this palette, this shade right here, this tan shade, almost blended in with my skin. You could barely see it, so I was surprised that you guys wanted to see me do a look with this one specifically. But I do like it. I do like the look that I ultimately create with it. But yeah, it's almost the same color as my skin tone. Like even here you can kind of see that it really blends in. So I go ahead and I took a big fluffy brush to go ahead and just blend out the brown and the tan shade. And then I applied more of the pink eyeshadow on my lids, just in the center of my lids to make them pop. Now I'm using a medium pointer shadow brush, and I'm applying the matte brown shade underneath my eyes, you know, on my lower lash line, very thickly. And then I also draw a line upward, and I connect that to the crease of my upper part of my eye. So as you can see, I'm just creating that shape there, so it's very triangular at the edges. And then I take that big fluffy brush again just to blend those out a little more so that the colors stay nice and diffused. I don't have any really hard edges. You can never blend too much. I even go back in with my Beauty Blender Micro Mini just to clean up under my eyes, make the lines a little sharper. Now I'm digging around in my makeup bag of magic again. And I'm pulling out the eyeliners I'm going to use. I'm using the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Pencil in Crave. This is a black-brown liner, and I'm using that just on my waterline. Then I'm going in with West, which is a very shimmery brown, and I'm going to line underneath my eyes with that. So just very close to my lash line, just lining underneath. It just adds a little bit more definition. So Crave on my waterline and West underneath my eyes. And then I'm going to use the Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner in dark brown. Instead of black, I'm using a dark brown just to keep this look a little softer, even though I'm always really dramatic and liberal with my application. That's just my style for most makeup looks. So I draw a line upward, and then I connect that line with my upper lash line, and I fill it in. So I'm just creating a really thick, dramatic wing. So I draw a line upward, connect that line to my upper lid, and then just, again, just fill it in. And this is my holy grail liquid eyeliner. I love the Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliners. They last all day, they stay all day, and they have a great color selection. And as you can see, I'm going in one more time with the pink eyeshadow, and I'm just applying it on the very center of my lids so that it doesn't completely disappear from this look. Blending one more time. Now I'm going to use the lash primer and mascara. I'm using the Subversion lash primer and the Urban Decay mascara, and I've already applied those. I went ahead and edited this so you didn't have to watch me put on mascara for 5 minutes. That could be a little bit boring. And I am definitely now in need of some eyebrows. So I like to use these two together. I'm using Taupe, which is the Tarte Amazonian Clay Waterproof Brow Mousse. I use that on the first half of my brows. So I use it on the inner part of my brows. And then I also use it to draw like the last half of my brows, just to give myself a guide for where I want to fill that in. But yeah, I like these, but this shade, it's nice on if you have brows. But as you can see on the other half of my brows, it's not dark enough to really add enough definition on the back end of my skin. So I use the shade medium brown on the middle half of my brows, and then I'm able to place it on my skin and create a brow that's not there. So I also tweeze my brows to death just because I like being able to apply makeup later to make my brows look the way I want them to look, because this is obviously not the way that they grow. Not everybody likes to do that, because that's obviously a lot of dedication, changing your face to make it fit your makeup, but that's just how I roll. And I still go in with a spoolie on the first half of my brows. That really makes a difference, makes it look more natural when you use a spoolie and comb it through. And now I'm going to go ahead and use the Naked Skin Ultra Definition Loose Finishing Powder in Naked Medium from Urban Decay so that I can set my foundation, remove the shine so you guys don't get blinded during this tutorial. And like I said, I do need to actually set that under eye brightener. So I'm using that. Now I'm ready to go in with some bronzer. This is the Golden Bronzing Powder from MAC. I have limited edition packaging, but this is part of their permanent line. So I use that just to warm up my skin a little. I'm not really trying to contour or anything. I'm just adding some warmth to my skin. I'm using my little Beauty Blender Micro Mini to apply what I'm using as a highlighter. This is the Maybelline Master Glaze in the shade Warm Nude. And see, I just apply it on the center of my nose, on my cupid's bow, on my chin, and then I use it on the highest points of my cheekbones just to draw some light in. And again, that gives the effect of just like lifting the cheekbones of my face to make my face look a little slimmer, so I'm not just a giant oval floating around on YouTube. I'm using this blush. It's a limited edition blush that you can't get anymore from MAC. It was from their Proenza Schooler collection. It's called Sunset Beach. It's a really pretty pink blush, so don't be upset if I'm using limited edition items, because you can always find a light pink blush. You don't have to have this one. You can always find a light pink blush. And for my lips, again, I have limited edition packaging, but this is part of MAC's permanent line. This is the shade What Comes Naturally. And I'm spraying it with alcohol and then I'm sharpening it. As long as I do that, I don't get little pimples on my lip line. If I use a lip liner and I don't spray alcohol on it and then sharpen it beforehand, I tend to get little pimples on my lips, on my lip line. So I just do that. So I'm lining my lips and I'm filling it in with this shade. And I actually really like this shade, but I'm going to go ahead and add a lipstick as well as some lip gloss, just so I have an excuse to play with makeup. So the lipstick I'm using is also a limited edition lipstick. It's called Pink Fringe, and it was also from the MAC Proenza Schooler collection. You can't get it anymore, as far as I know. And as you can see, it's just a really bright flamingo pink lipstick. I don't wear a lot of pink lipsticks, so today I was feeling inspired to bust out some pink. But again, don't be upset if you can't get this shade, because it's just a bright pink lipstick. You can get those anywhere. And then I'm applying the Urban Decay Ultra Nourishing Gloss in the shade Naked.
And this is the look that I created. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. I turned you on to a few products maybe you haven't used before that you want to check out and see how they wear. Feel free to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Tumblr. I'm pretty active on Instagram, so that's definitely the place to check me out. And yeah, any questions, comments, please leave them down below. I love it when you guys interact with me. And if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe so the next time I upload a video, I'll pop up in your feed and you can check out my video if you want to. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.